if I can get this to work. Okay. On this first one, when it has two parentheses, does anybody remember what we call it? What kind of problem? Mama. All right. It's the mama rule. M-A-M-A. What does the M stand for? Multiply. What do you multiply? The big number. So I can put a 1 here and a 1 here. What's 1 times 1? 1. What does the A stand for? Add. Okay, and you have to add the little numbers. So what are my little numbers here? 5 and 2. So 5 and 2, I do what with them? Add them. So that gives me x to the what? 7th. Okay, x to the 7th. Let's jump over here to number 3. Do I do the x's and y's together or separately? I do them separately, okay? Remember, I don't like to eat my peas and corn all mixed together. I want to eat them separately, okay? Let's do them separately. So x to the 2nd and x to the 3rd, what do you do with the little numbers? You add the little numbers. So it's going to be x to the what? 5th. Now, what do I do when there's no number with the y? I put a 1 with it. You got to remember your 1. So 4 plus 1 is also 5. So y to the 5th. Okay. All right, let's jump down here to number 8. Gracie, what do I do with the -6 and the 3? Very good. So that gives me -18. Staria, what little number do I need to put with this A? Good. Chuck, what little number do I need to put with this B? Monica, what little number do I need to put with this A? Good. All right, Ethan H., what is going to be in my answer? A to the what? Yep, how'd you get that? Very good. Jesse, what would be my B? B to the what? What do you do with the little numbers? You add them. Okay, on the top of that sheet, see where it says multiply the big numbers and add the little ones? So you add the little ones. So 1 and 2 gives you B to the 3rd. Okay? Okay, when do you do the mama rule? When? When it has what? 2 parentheses. Very good. So when you see 2 parentheses, you do the mama rule when it's 2 parentheses. Okay, good. Very good. All right. This next one only has 1 set of parentheses. Okay, so right here, we only have 1 set of parentheses, so we're going to do something different. What's the only thing between the 3 and the 2? Parentheses. What do parentheses mean to do? Add, subtract, multiply, or divide? Multiply. So I multiply the little one. So what's 3 times 2? So it's x to the 6. Okay, x to the 6. All right. Number 2, Monica, what do I do with the 5 and the 3? Very good. So that gives me a to the 15th. Okay. Remember on number 3, I have to do the x's and y's separately. So Ethan G, what am I going to do with x to the 2? What do I have to do with that 2? By what? By what? Yeah, the other 2. So this 2 and this 2 multiply, it gives me x to the 4th. Andrea, what do you think I do with that 4? What do I times it by? 2. I times these 2. So that gives me y to the 8th. Okay. Jesse, what little number do I put with this x if it doesn't have one? A 1. Good. Okay. Gracie, what do you think I do with this 1? Very good. By what number? The outside one. Okay. The 5. So that gives me x to the 5th. Chad, what do I do with this little 3? Very good. So that gives me y to the 15th. Okay. All right. If you have a number, this is where you have to use your calculator. If you have a big number in front, you have to put 2. What number goes with the 2? Anybody? Yes, but what am I going to have to do with the 1? Times it by 4. What's 1 times 4? 4. What am I going to have to do with the 4? Put it there. Now, I do not multiply these. I do not multiply these. Type in your calculator 2 to the 4th power. You're going to have to use that caret key. 2 to the 4th power. Huh? I don't know. I don't know. What do you get? 16. Are y'all getting that? Okay. Chuck, what do I have to do with this 3 and 4 right here? Very good, which gives me a to the 12th. Okay? All right. So here I'm going to do -4, and I have to put the 3 with it. I have to put the 3 with it. So it goes right there. Monica, type that in your calculator and tell us what you're getting. Okay, -64. Zaria, what do I have to do with this 2 and 3 right here? Very good, which gives you x to the 6. Good job. Okay. Haley, what do I write with this -3? What do I put with it? What do I do with that 1? Good, so I'm just going to put a 2 with it. Ethan, H, type that in your calculator. Tell us what you get. And Chad, what do I do with this 3 and 2? Good, which gives me a to the 6. Very good. And this last one, Ethan G, what do I do with this 5? What do I have to put with it? A what? This little 2 with it. Daniel, what do I do with this? Do I do 5 times 2 or do I put it in my calculator? Good, which gives you 25. Gracie, what do you do with the 6? Very good, which gives you x to the 12th. And Andrea, I'm going to put a 1 here. What do I have to do with this 1 with the y? Times it by what? 2, which gives me y to the 2nd. Okay. Okay, this last rule that we're going to do today, so y'all need to take notes on this. We didn't get to this. This is called DS. Is it what? Is it a Nintendo? That's a DS? What's a DS? Is it Nintendo or PlayStation? What? Nintendo? Okay, so think about a Nintendo DS. The D, I just heard someone say what they think it stands for. Divide. So write this down. Everybody should be writing. Very good. Divide the big numbers. Subtract the little ones. Write it down. Okay, so when do you use the DS rule? You use it when you see this bar. And I need to fix my smartboard. What does this bar mean in math? Division. Okay, so that's when you do the DS rule, when you see the divide bar. When you see the divide bar, you're going to use the DS rule. Okay? All right. If you would like, you don't have to, but if you would like, you could put a 1 in front here and a 1 in front here. Those are your big numbers. According to this rule, what do you do with the big numbers? You divide them. So 1 divided by 1 is just 1. So you don't have to do that step. It's optional. 3 and 2 are my little numbers. 3 and 2 are my little numbers. What does it say to do with the little numbers? Subtract them. So what is 3 minus 2? 1. Now what do I have to write here? Very good. X to the 1. Okay. You're right. But you have to write the X. Okay. Okay. Now number 2 gets into a little bit of a scramble. What is 5 minus 7? -2. We don't want that. We don't want negative. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it on the bottom because this is bigger. Okay, so let me start over. Start over with explain this. On the top, I have 5 A's. It's the same thing as having A. How many A's do I have on the bottom? 7. A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So where do I have more A's, on the top or bottom? Bottom. So my answer is going to have A's on the bottom. So I'm going to draw a bar, and I'm going to put A on the bottom because there's more of them on the bottom. Now, there were 5 on top. There were 7 on the bottom. So when you subtract these, 7 minus 5, how many is that? 2. Where are the 2 going to be, on the top or bottom? Where are there more of them? The bottom. So the two A's are going to be on the bottom. So A to the second. Anybody know what I could put on top? I heard someone say it. What can I put on top to hold my place? A 1. Okay, so that's your answer. 1 over A to the second. Okay, number 3. 10 and 6 are little numbers. So what am I going to do with 10 and 6? Subtract them. Okay, so what is 10 minus 6? 4. Okay, now here's where you have to ask yourself, are there more Y's on the top or more Y's on the bottom? There's more of them on the bottom. So you have to draw your bar, and you're going to put Y on the bottom because there's more of them on the bottom. Okay, Daniel, let somebody else answer. What's 10 minus 6? 4. So you put Y to the 4th here. And what do I put on top to hold my place? 1. Okay. All right, number 4. I do the X's and Y's separately. 5 and 2 are little numbers. It says subtract the little number. So 5 minus 2 is what? 3. Now, do I have more X's on top or more X's on the bottom? On the top. So I can just write X to the 3rd like normal. X to the 3rd like normal. All right, for the Y's, can anyone tell me what I need to do to get it right? Good. You're going to have to put a 1 here. If you don't, you're going to get the wrong answer. You have to put a 1 right there. Okay? Monica, what am I going to do with the 3 and the 1? They're little numbers. Subtract them. So that gives me Y to the 2nd. X to the 3rd, Y to the 2nd. Okay? All right, on number 5, Chuck, what am I going to do with the 2 and the 4? Very good. So what's 4 minus 2? 2. Chuck, are there more A's on the top or the bottom? So I'm going to put A to the 2nd on the bottom. A to the 2nd on the bottom. Andrea, what do I do with the 3 and the 3? What's 3 minus 3? 0. So those cancel out. Jesse, what can I put on top right here to hold my place? Very good. Okay. Number 6. Haley, what's the first thing I have to do on that problem to get it right? Good. Put a 1 with this X right here. Put a 1 with this X. Gracie, what am I going to do with the 1 and the 2? Very good. So 2 minus 1 is 1, and it's bigger on the bottom. So I have to put X to the 1 on the bottom. X to the 1 on the bottom. Chad, is there anything to subtract from Y to the 3rd? No. So guys, I just drop it down, and it needs to go on top because it was on the top. That's where it was, and we're just going to leave it there because there's nothing to do with it. So it needs to stay on top. Okay. All right, number 7, Ethan H. What do you think we're doing with 8 and 2? Very good. Why are we dividing 8 and 2? Very good. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. Jesse, what do I do with the 4 and the 3? Very good. So that gives me X to the 1. Okay. All right, 4 and 12 are big numbers, so what do I have to do with them? Divide them. What's 12 divided by 4? 3. Here's where you got to be careful. Which one's bigger, 4 or 12? Where do you think 3 has to go? The bottom. 3 has to go on the bottom. Okay. All right, Zaria, what do I need to do with the X's? What's something I need to do? Very good, Zaria. Put a 1 right there. Okay. Ethan G, what do I do with the 3 and the 1? So that gives me X to the what? Do you think I'm going to put it on top or bottom? Very good. X to the 2nd goes on top. Chuck, what am I doing with 6 and 2? It gives me what? Do I put Y4 on the top or on the bottom? Very good. It's optional. It's kind of like that one. You don't have to put it. Okay. In your answer, you don't have to put it. You do have to put it in the problem. Okay. All right, here's your two Oyos.